The biggest change in AI has just happened. Gemini 3.0. It's now possible to create amazing apps, tools, websites, and platforms at an incredible quality. And the businesses that use this are going to have an unfair advantage. I even rebuilt one of my 6-figure funnels step by step and did so at an even higher quality than before, all using Gemini 3.0 and the tools that I'm going to show you in this video. And not only are we going to cover this incredible technology, I'm going to show you things that no one else is talking about that's going to give you results way beyond what you're seeing everywhere else. So, Gemini 3.0. This is built in Gemini 3.0. Why do we care about Gemini? Well, it is just state-of-the-art reasoning, unprecedented depth, and nuance, as they say. And as you can see from the benchmarks, it is crushing it. And it's not just on the actual data and benchmarks. We're physically seeing this in the performance and how it's doing when we're using it. The results are literally insane. This is an example of one of my newsletters that I rebuilt. It literally, guys, insane levels of quality. You literally just type in it and it builds the thing. This example is from my text-to-speech startup glider. One interesting thing that you need to understand is that it solves the UI problem. Now, previously, we've been using things like Lovable and Bolt and various different vibe coding tools, but I just want you to look at the difference here. In both cases, this was the exact same prompt. With Gemini 3.0, look at the nuance and the detail and the color balancing. And then Lovable kind of looks like it's a little bit more cookie cutter, a little bit more copy and paste. And the impact that you have on the user when using it is next to none. This looks professional grade. It is literally crazy. The TLDR of it is it's kind of a little bit of a big deal. Here's the thing though. Gemini 3.0 by itself, without automation, without genius level copywriting, and without the deployment, is like a Ferrari in a garage. It's very cool to show to your buddies, but it doesn't really do anything. And in this video, I'm going to get you on the highway. I'm going to do that by showing you the Drive framework. So D stands for design. So you can not just build apps and websites, you can literally do anything. And before I can show you the kind of things you can design, you need to have a brief understanding of the platform. So let me give you a TLDR. It isn't just great for destroying rabbits like this. For example, this is one that I built for my own newsletter. As you can see, you literally enter your email address. I enter this one. And then this is connected to an automation, which I'm going to show you in this video, that then adds them directly to a newsletter. We've got this. You can have different, interactivity on the website, add your own custom images, and any kind of things that you want on there. The other thing to call it is you basically have this interface on the left-hand side. You give it prompts and it does it. And I'm going to show you some hacks, guys, that aren't that common, aren't really being covered. And there's many different things that you can build. So to start this off, we're going to head over to aistudio.google.com. As always, I'm going to put all the links down below in the description so you can have a little play around with that. Now, first little hack to know in the D for design section is that you can actually just remix existing things. So if you go through this section and you find something that's like, I really like the look of this game, or I really like the look of the Sky Metropolis. There's like anything you possibly want. But let's just say that we really like the look of, I don't know, this website here. We can actually remix it, which means that we're using the base code in Gemini 3.0 that it's created. And then we can just say, hey, use this exact same thing, but I want you to modify it for my individual purposes. And we just give it the prompt on the left-hand side. What I'm going to do though, is we're going to give it a prompt from the beginning. Okay. I'm going to give it something interesting. Now, one of the core things that's really valuable here is not to be overly restrictive in your initial prompt. What you can do if you like is if you go online and let's just say that you find, something that you like and you're thinking, Jack, I really love the design of this. So for example, I come to apple.com, right? And let's just say we're on Apple and we really love the design and UI that Apple has. One of the things that we can do is we can just copy and paste that and throw that into Gemini as, hey, copy this user interface exactly, and it will follow those instructions. It's very, very cool. So what we're going to do is give it a prompt. And what we're going to do in this video is pretty much recreate my newsletter sign-up to make it very, very crisp. So I would like you to design for me a beautiful, gorgeous, futuristic, highly stylized, simple landing page for a newsletter. The objective of the newsletter is to get somebody to sign up and join it. They're going to be given consistent value every single week. And once we've given it the prompt, we just hit enter and let Gemini do its work in the background. Quick little hack for you here as well is you'll see these cards on the right-hand side, which is it basically suggestions that it thinks might be valuable to you. The other thing that I would definitely recommend that you do is if you've got a specific color scheme, enter that into the left-hand side. But personally, what I prefer to do with this is give Gemini creative freedom and then direct from its creative freedom. Because a lot of the times when you're giving it specific feedback, you're not actually enhancing it. So here we've got enable your app to see and understand images, allow users to upload photo receipts. So it just gives you different ideas here. Okay, let's have a look. Include a prominent email sign-up form to capture interest. Beautiful. Let's make sure we add that one in there. Come down to text generation to your exact needs. Save custom instructions to define app styles. Cool. You can pretty much decide it. So one of the interplays that you're going to see in this video, this guide that's going to help you build things that put into production that you can actually use. Because guys, a lot of people using this stuff on Gemini, they'll show you these vibe coding things. They'll show you, oh, this is really cool, but it doesn't do anything. It's not connected to anything. It's just basically living in its own bit. I'm going to show you how you can take this and actually publish it on its own domain, just like I did on this website here, which as you can see is at a unique domain. And I'm going to show you exactly how you do all those things step by step because it is literally insane. So I'm going to come back over here and let it finish its beautiful design. And oh my goodness, guys, just like this, look at this. Upgrade your intellect. This is crazy. Okay, so first thing I want to do is go full screen, okay? So you can see the kind of vibe it's got. Guys, this is really, really impressive, like genuinely insane. So we've got upgrade your intellect. And I love the kind of like fading of the second line here. Archive manifesto, initiate protocol, transmission incoming, issue 104. Let's have a look. So we've got very kind of unique things. If I just said, hey, let's enter in my email address. Let's see what it does. Beautiful. Click join. There's a little thing. Protocol initiated. Welcome to Nexus. Check your inbox. Weekly intelligence stream. Different things. Oh, this is cool. This is actually really, really impressive. So you can see it's got different ideas. You can link this to various different things, your blogs and whatnot. And then we've got these things down at the bottom, which is very, very cool. Now, once it's given the initial design and you're happy with it, there's a couple of things that we're going to want to do here. So the first thing is to give it some more context about who you are. So what I'm going to do is come to my own newsletter here. I'm actually going to copy this. So for example, if you've got a landing page, you've got sales copy, you've got anything that really captures it, the thing that you do, I want you to do it. We're going to go into solving the copy problem later, but this is just to give it a really good structure. Where Gemini shines, and we're going to be using a different model soon, is really just in terms of its ability to really craft these gorgeous interfaces. So for example, what I'm also going to say is, I would like you to use the below information and copy at various different points in the flow, use it to enhance the journey and the messaging. Okay, there you go. And we enter this in, and then we just basically hit bam, and then this is going to go and do it. And again, we just basically flirt with it a little bit until we get the design and the general feel to a standard that we're very, very happy with. And just speaking frankly with you for a second, guys, one of the things that people aren't talking about enough with this stuff is the kind of animation set that it has. Like it's this ability to not just be like this dynamic feel. Like for example, in this one here, we have the different blobs and the globules moving around. You can literally give it that kind of almost three-dimensional feel based on the prompts. And Gemini is really good at doing that. It almost feels like a significant step change because it is just literally that much better. And oh my gosh, guys, just like that. Okay, do you know what? This is actually dangerous. And it's dangerous because I've already just finished my design and now I'm seeing a new design. And I'm like, you know what? I might need to play around with that. And I can talk about like the strategy of why I've designed it this way, but look, one email, one big idea. It's almost like the value prop. Because one of the things I don't like about email is the fact that you get, also, by the way, people who read usually like their average income is significantly higher, right? So email is a really good channel for that. So one email, one big idea, very cool value proposition. Every week I share the most valuable insights that I've learned, whether it's about AI, business, tech, or building things people want, 3 minutes to read, stuff I don't share everyone else. That is my email list. That's my value prop. People come in, they enter their email, no spam, unsubscribe anytime, 100% valuable. So for example, what you could do is if you can do annotations on this as well. If it's like, what's it? If it's like, we want to be really specific about what you're talking about. And then we've got this thing. It's actually created for me, guys. I'm actually really freaking impressed with that. It's created a unique logo. I think that's really freaking impressive. I really think that's really impressive. I'm massively impressed with that. What you get every week, short and practical, what's actually working, whatever's most valuable. Here's the protocol. What's the big idea? Now, this is create some kind of interactive, some kind of AI app. So we could actually build AI into this if we want to, right? And, it could be, find Jack's latest thought, whatever the AI thing is that we want. We've got something from Hardy from Jack. So this is about me, my background, and then we'd have an image there. You hover over and it does some cool stuff. And if you want to go deeper, you can come and join the community. Or if you want to become an AI native business and work with me and book some time in, you can come and do that there and kick some butt. And then weekly insights. Really cool. Basically, you play around with it. I've typically found, it's about 8 to 9 back and forth until you get to the point where we're very happy. But what we're going to do now is, now we're happy with this, the question becomes, how do I get this onto a website? And then how do I get it to a point where you can actually access it? Well, the first step in that is downloading it. So we're going to, copy. We are going to save it, which is done. And then you're going to download the app. And what this will do is download it into a big folder with all this stuff. Because what this is in backend, now this looks really scary, right? It looks really intimidating. But these are just folders to do different things. That's all it is. And anything you see in front end just got little bits like, different, files and features and components. You don't need to understand all of it. You really don't. But just know that it's got code. That's basically it. It's just got code that we're going to edit. So what's the next step? Well, it's fine to play around with it in the inline editor, but it's actually, if you want to take this to another level and leverage Claude code and a few other things, we're going to want to do this on our laptop. So you need to do 3 very simple steps. The first thing I want you to do is come over and download Cursor. Again, I'll put the links down below so you can press the buttons. And if you've never used Claude Code before, I'll put a link to a video on screen that you can watch that'll go through exactly how you set up Claude Code, build it, deploy it, because it is really like one of the most profitable things you can possibly do. Cursor is kind of like, it's just think of it as a code editor. It's like AI that writes code. Previously, we would hire developers, we'd throw a creative red bull at them and say, hey, build this. I remember my first startup, I paid a guy £150 for 20 minutes of development. I was like, this is crazy. But the point is, we've come so far now that you never need to do that, right? So basically, it's like enables you to kind of feel like you're in the Matrix. And I'll show what it looks like in a second. The next thing I want you to do is go ahead and download this particular app. Now, this app is called Node.js. So in the same way that we're able to manipulate things online, Node.js will enable Claude on our laptop to move things around. So you're going to download Node.js. And then the final thing you're going to do is come to this website here and copy this code here. Now, here's the next thing I want you to do. You're going to open up the terminal on your laptop, and you do it by pressing Command and T, okay? And then you're going to copy in that code. Now, once you do that, this will then download Claude Code into your laptop, and you can give it different instructions then, right? So say, for example, you want to chat with Claude Code, you can do anything. I could say, to activate it, we'll just type in the word Claude, like so. Okay. Then Claude says, hey, you're happy for me to mess around on your laptop? You can give it different folders. Again, you can watch that full video for breakdown. But this is really important because this is actually how we get it to write incredible copy, right? I could say, hey, what date is it? Okay. It can create files on computer. But the key point is this, is that Claude Code can edit things on your laptop very easily, okay? So you can give it directory and it can now edit the code. But the problem with this is that we kind of want to see a bit more of a better visual interface. And again, people are split between the terminal and Cursor. But here's the thing I want you to do. And once you open up Cursor, you're going to see something like this. So I'm going to come down here and click on File. I'm going to click on Open Folder. And we're going to select the thing that we just downloaded, which is in a zip. So let me just open that real quick. Okay, so I've just unzipped it. I come down to Open Folder and I come down to my downloads. And then it's ideas to Jack, and you just hit enter. Now, what's really cool here is this is everything that we saw on Gemini. But here's the difference. We can now use Claude Code. So to use Claude Code, you're going to do this. You're going to click on Show Terminal. Okay. This is the same thing that we just asked, that we used to ask to date, but it's within Cursor. So we just type in Claude like so. This summons Claude. We'll click 1 for OK. This on the right-hand side is Cursor's inbuilt editors. So you could do the exact same thing without it, but we like it. So one of the things I want you to do, first of all, is ask it to do a full review of the code. So I want you to do Shift and Tab, and this is going to put it into planning mode. This is a better way for you to provide images. It was my experience in using Gemini that when you gave it images, sometimes it did it, but sometimes it didn't. This is a way better way of doing it. So check this out. Hey there, I would like you to review the entire website, and I would like you to come up with a plan of all the ways that we can improve the copy and the design. The purpose of it is to articulate the clear value proposition and encourage people to sign up without being spammy and without just getting straight to the point and adding value. So we give it a prompt that looks like this, and then we hit enter. Now we can put Claude into planning mode. This is probably the biggest, most key part of this process, which is where R comes in, which within our Drive framework. And so this second step, R, stands for refine and improve, which is exactly what Claude does. So it refines and improves the entire page we've got, because it doesn't just exist to look great. It needs to exist to deliver an outcome for you or for your clients, correct? So what we do by putting Claude in plan mode is we're using its kind of executive decision-making, its executive planning functions to review ruthlessly all of the copy to see exactly how it can be built. And when this is complete, it's going to give us a step-by-step list of instructions. So we're leveraging the design capabilities of Gemini, and then we've got the thinking and the planning of Claude, as well as the editability to make this incredible and beautiful. After a couple of minutes of planning, it then comes up with a list of things, which is really good because Claude's going to ask you some clarification questions. So first of all, what's your primary conversion goal for the website? Is it newsletter signups, qualified lead for paid offerings, or both equally? So you could say, for example, okay, I want both equally, and just go up and down. And it says, what type of improvements are you most interested in? Copy messaging, design visual hierarchy. So you can just select all the things that you want. User journey optimization, new sections or features. That's cool. And then we just click on next. How do you want to balance professional versus personality? And I'd say we want a kind of current balance, I think is fine. Do you have testimonials, subscriber feedback, or specific results that you can showcase? I do, but let's just say, for example, we're going to keep it minimal. And when you're happy with that, click on submit answers, and then it'll run forth and crush it. By the way, I know a lot of people that run newsletters, they said one of their best performing conversions, typically speaking, are sharing like a testimonial from somebody inside the newsletter when they run ads. So for example, something like, hey, this testimonial made me the most prolific AI guy in my office. I had feedback from somebody in my accelerator that did that. It was very, very cool because knowing a little bit of AI and whatever you do can really accelerate you. So what's happening now is Claude is doing its work in the background. It's going to make those improvements. And now what's really cool is that we can actually view this whole thing. So all of this is living on our laptop at the moment, or desktop if you prefer. And then when we're happy with it, we're going to move on to the next step, which is deploying this code. And then Claude basically comes back with a list of things it wants to do. We just say, yes, we're happy with that, accept the auto edits. Again, the cool thing is you can either say yes, no, maybe, and just make your decisions. Beautiful. And just like that, it has finished its implementation. One cool thing you can do is say, cool, open it up for me to view. You can do this and it'll give you a link that you can just click and it will open up for you automatically. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to do is basically replace all of the information, like your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram, all that sort of stuff. We say, hey, I'm fine with doing that. And then it will click a link, we can do it. So you're going to go through that process to make sure that all the links go through to the right place. And you can just give that an all one big command and it'll do that for you automatically. And just like that, guys, it opens it up and we've got localhost 3000 and this is our entire thing. How freaking cool is this? This is insane. And it's basically added in all of the things, 25,000 subscribers, 50 countries, 3 minutes free time. I actually really like this. I think this is cool. And you can see now how Claude's added in this. Like, here's what you're missing, like an example email. That's really cool. Click easy thing to subscribe, every email, every week, all the things that you get. Do you know what? I actually prefer this, genuinely. I genuinely think this is really cool. And then we've got a little bit of a photo, which we can change very easily. Is this for you? Guys, look how freaking Claude added all the stuff in because I asked it to think about how we could make it better. Perfect for entrepreneurs and building, not for people who are looking, yeah, dude, really freaking cool. Now, the next thing we want to do, okay, essentially is to connect this, which brings on to the third in our drive framework, which is to implement and automate. So effectively, what we want to do is the second they fill out this email, we want to essentially add them to some kind of mailing list. So how do we then connect this cool app with our mailing list? Well, for that, we can use either Make.com, N8N, or Zapier. Just for simplicity, I'm going to be using Make.com in this video. But the process between Make and N8N is exactly the same. So all we're going to do is create a webhook and click on custom webhook. That's it. All right. And click on add new webhook. I'm going to call this one Jack email. Beautiful. And click on save. You can authenticate it if you want to, but it's not really required. And then we have this thing here. So we're going to copy the address to the clipboard. If you're in N8N, by the way, it's the same process. Webhook, start the book, the flow of the webhook, and then you just copy this instead. It's the exact same process. So once we've done that, we're going to head over then to the beautiful cursor and we're going to say, hey, whenever someone enters their email, send the info to this webhook. Bam. Now, what's really cool, and I want to show you this real quick, is that if I come over and show you this local host, I can change anything and it will do it instantaneously. So for example, if I said remove quick links from the website, if I come down here and copy this, you can see it, bam. I want you to see how this actually updates instantaneously for us. So anything we want to do will appear. You know, it's actually quite interesting with this branding as well, that they've added this little thing in here, like almost like little brackets, ideas with Jack. And this is because my community is called AI Automations with Jack. So my idea of my mailing list is the ideas with Jack. And if you want to do a mailing list, one of the things I recommend that you do is think about what your unique value proposition is. I'm going to put all the code for this entire thing, the whole GitHub, that'll be available in the community down below in the description. So if we come back over then to cursor, it's now doing its work in the background. It says that it's now removing quick links. So if we just come down and check out what it's done, and quick links should literally evaporate instantaneously. You can see when it's doing it, when it just grabs this, basically green is stuff it's added in, red is stuff that it's taken away. Like green is good, red is bad, basically. So you can actually see what the code's done. It looks like it's removed it. I come back over, quick links is gone. How crazy is that? And it said that it's basically done this hook. So let's test that it works. So this here is now waiting to receive it. So I come back over, and if I just say, let's just fill out the form. So if I say my email is hey@outlook.com, one of the most coveted emails in the world, send me ideas. Great. Oh, do you know what? That is so cool. They added in a share on LinkedIn, share on Twitter. Do you see how valuable having Claude is now? This is ridiculous. Then I come back over, and guys, that is successfully determined. Which, look, if I run this one again, okay, and I come back, module set up. Yeah, it's fine, bro. Don't worry about it. It's cool. We're going to go. Awesome. I come back over. I'm going to refresh it and do the same thing again with this email address. Send me the ideas. Bam, I come back over. Guys, check this out. There's my email address. How freaking crazy is this? Now, the cool thing is that we can now add this to our email provider of choice. Now, if you're somebody who wants to grow your mailing list, one of the things that I recommend that we personally find very helpful is a platform called, and I'm only ever going to show you the stuff that I personally use, okay, is Beehive. Basically app.beehive.com. So what we need to do is just test that it works, right? So I'm going to come down here. One of the cool benefits, obviously you can build anything in NA10. If you're a beginner, you just want to get this started, you can do this easily. They've got a Beehive module. You just click on create a subscriber really easily. I come down to email address. I can just enter in like test 555 or whatever it is at outlook.com. You can select the source. So you could say, for example, JR website really easily. Really simple. And then what I can do is right click on this and run this module only to make sure it works okay. It says that it's completed. So if I come over then to my email list, and bam, guys, just like that, it is now entered it, which means they've gone completely full circle, meaning they've gone from this beautiful website, added the email address, and now they're into our mailing list. And then we can send them a bespoke welcome email and then give them the beautiful information that they need to as part of a whole entire sequence. And this then kindly brings on to step 4, which stands to validate and implement. So what we're going to do now is we've got all this stuff on our laptop, right? What we kind of need to do is to upgrade it. But one thing I want to do before that is to show you how you tackle images, because somebody in the community literally said to me today that they were building in Cursor, they're building with Claude Code, but they were struggling with images. So I promised I'd add this in as a bit of for instance, a bit of a help. So what we can do is we can actually drag and drop photos of ourselves. So let me just show you as a for instance. Okay, you can see this photo of me here. I'm going to drag this image 9 over to the left, okay? And I'm going to say, hey, update the photo of Jack with image 09. I just added it on the left-hand side in your project folder, okay? We hit that one in, and now it will add it for us automatically. So we're going to do all of this stuff. And then that's how you actually go ahead and change. We said, yeah, that's completely fine. And remember, the second it does something, it will update for us instantaneously, which means it will see it here. So this guy with the ring light will disappear, and then we'll see an image of me. Now, while it's working on that in the background, I'm going to show you how we now take this forward and publish it. One of the things we're going to do, guys, is we're going to use GitHub. Okay, now GitHub is just what we call a repository. Just a really fancy way of saying it's a place where we can take all of the files here and put them online. That means that we can then use those files for various different things, different bits and pieces. This has said that it's completed it. Let's come over and just validate that's happened real quick. I scroll down, and where are we? We can see that that has been updated, and then maybe we will just change the background, but that's how we do images, generally speaking. So what we're going to do is going to come over here, and I'm going to give it a prompt like, awesome, I would now like to publish this on GitHub. Let me know everything that you need to know from me to make that happen. Dead simple. Obviously, I've got specific processes, but I just want to kind of illustrate how helpful Claude is, because not only is it taking actions on the code level for us, so we can use Gemini 3.0 and all its beautiful code, it's actually helpful in the delivering of the thing. So we're going to use a couple of things there. So it's going to come down here. It gives you instructions of exactly what to do. So it wants you to create a new repo, okay, which is awesome, and make it public. So that's what we do. We're going to come back over. We're going to head over to GitHub, and then let's go on to new. We're going to give it a different name. We're going to call this one Ideas with Jack 2. Okay. Description is a cool newsletter. Awesome. And then we're going to keep it public, and you click create repo. Obviously, it's completely free to sign up. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to say, we're going to copy this Git. Beautiful. And then we just come back over, and then we say, bam, there you go. We give it the Git address. Then it will come with a pop-up asking us to sign into GitHub, which is really, really cool. So we just give that a hot second, and then it will work its magic. And just like that, guys, we've got the prompt. We just click on allow. We continue to GitHub, and this will open up a brand new thing. We just sign into our beautiful GitHub, click confirm, and then we just give it a unique code. We're going to come down and we're going to generate the token. This token we then provide to Cursor. I'm going to come back here. We'll give it a token like so. which is fantastic. And then it'll be live on GitHub. And this leads us on to the final part of this step 4, the process of the view, is we're going to now need a place to put it, which we're going to use something called Vercel. Now, there's a couple of different options. You can use Vercel, you can use Netlify. Lovable, for example, whenever you publish something on Lovable, you'll see that it lists on Netlify. These are just services that lets us take that code and display it on the internet, which is cool. So if I show you this ideas of Jack thing, basically what you do on Vercel, again, completely free, is you connect it to GitHub. Okay, very simple. And it will ask you on GitHub to basically, if I get integrations here, you'll see, there we go. Okay, integrations is more the marketplace side of things, but again, you just connect this thing to GitHub. I don't see it on this screen because I've already connected it, but as soon as you connect it to GitHub, anytime you upload a repo, it will then appear in Vercel for you. So for example, this is now saying that it's done. So if I click on this link, this should then open it up to our GitHub repo. And look at this, guys. Every single thing that we had on our desktop is now available here. How freaking cool is that? That is literally insane. So if I come back over to Vercel now, for example, what we're looking for is the thing. So I come down here, I'm going to add in a new project. Okay, look at this Git repository. It's found it instantaneously. Okay, you can also add a new GitHub account here. Very cool. So all I do is this is loading up real quick. So we give this a hot second. And there we go. We've got it here with the name that we gave it. We click on import, like so, and we click on deploy. And by the way, if you wanted specific things like API access, you would configure those environment variables here, like, OpenAI or whatever. And then we just click on deploy. And guys, when this is ready, you can have a full website completely deployed from Gemini 3.0, from Google's Gemini 3.0. We use Claude Code to enhance it. And now we've got Vercel that's going, or Vercel. I don't know what kind of, which side of the fence we get on with this, guys. Then once this is done, we can actually physically see it, and it's going to be literally insane. And bam, guys, just like that. So if I click on it, I open it up, and now we have a full app that is completely live, that is completely, fully functional. But it doesn't just stop there, because now we need to get a domain address for it, right? So if I come back over here, I click on Add Domain right here. You come on Domains on the left, and you click on Buy Domain. It opens up a new site like this. You can type in, say, for example, ideasbyjack.com, and you get $11.25. You add it. It is preposterously simple. You buy it. And just to show you what this looks like on my side, so you can get a good sense of what it looks like once you've bought it, because it's like $10, you're ready to go. If I click on Ideas of Jack, check this out. I come over to, I believe it is on domains. So let's have a look at domains. And it's there, and it's in production. And then what you do on the second one is you edit, and then you basically come down here as a permanent redirect, which means now that even if you open up this thing here, it redirects to ideasofjack.com. Then you get the full thing that works for you autonomously in the background, kicking butt. But knowing how to build these incredible apps that set you aside from people is one thing. What you then need to understand is context engineering and how we can give these AI the information and the data to do things that most businesses don't even think is possible. Now, you can learn that by watching this video right here.